country people. Mago don't finish with cut you. This corruption don't become disease wey be say plenty money just dey disappear every day sake of different mago wey people dey do for inside education, electricity, and even ogbonge areas them wey we suppose take fit make life jolly for we country people them. Now e make corruption anonymous do join body with the government now to say make we kill corruption before e kill us patapata. Corruption anonymous dey call all we country people them make them put hand with government fight corruption. Make you report any person wey you see say dey shook and inside money wey be say they suppose take make we obodo country better. If you get any kind of information, make you quick go call or send SMS go Presidential Initiative on Continuous Audit PICAD on top 0909-806-7946, or you fit send some kind of information go meet any agency wey dey fight corruption like EFCC, ICPC, CCB, or with Nigeria Police. Or you make you blow the whistle today, make you help stop corruption. This na message from Presidential Initiative on Continuous Audit PICAD, Federal Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning.
At the end of the day, whoever is whistleblowing will know that the state will protect him or her for us to be able to benefit from this kind of policy. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so thanks, Dr. Franka. That was pretty quick. I'd like to come to Dr. Tunde Akani. Just your brief comments on what we've done here so far.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's really been exciting being here, listening to the different perspectives from the different government agencies, representatives talking about whistleblower policy. Well, it's interesting enough that at the subnational and national levels, governments are beginning to get interested in whistleblower policy. Well, there is still a lot of ground to be covered, really, because from all that each of them had come out to say to us, there is this recurring gap that there are established agencies, even if they are private initiatives, that are committed to whistleblower policy, but which unfortunately government agencies are shying away from. And I'm speaking genuinely as a media scholar that I am, and as a media professional. If government is genuinely interested in institutionalizing whistleblower policy, then it must also be ready to support existing private initiatives such as yours, such as you actually represent as a representative of budget. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Dr. Tunde. So quickly, Dr. Adewoye, any quick comments?
Okay, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here, and I also believe that most of us have really enjoyed this 2 days conference. All the presenters agree that corruption is a problem and that is affecting the country negatively. All the presenters also agree that whistleblower policy will help in fighting corruption, and that government transaction should be technologically driven. Some of the presenters also made mention about the protection of the whistleblower. In fact, that seems to be the key. And we also find that part of the presentation is that there's no specific law for whistleblower or blowing policy, but there's act that we have an act for EFCC and the ICPC. So,
which is bordering on the preservation of suspicious assets recovered and the establishment of the whistleblower policy. From an accountability actor's point of view, what would be your general assessment of the implementation of the whistleblower policy so far?
Thank you. Like I said earlier, it's interesting enough the government is now trying to at least give us citizens the impression that they are interested in transparency and related conduct. But the point is that investigative journalism is not new to us in this country, and we have a few organizations that are committed to investigative journalism. Premium Times, and even the Foundation for Investigative Journalism, just recently established by the young man, Fisher Osoyombo. There's a day hardly passes without any of these organizations committed to digging deep, revealing to us the decadence in our society. And our government is not sleeping. Citizens keep, harvesting all of these dirty stories about scandals, corruption in high places every day. Now, yes, this order came up, but how many people have been prosecuted? And there are people in high places in government, who have been found wanting. We get to hear about them in the media, or what eventually has happened to some of these people. And we can start mentioning names. You and I know that Obla, the lawyer, was in the presidency. He was actually in charge. The EFCC guy just came out to tell us that they are not in charge of managing assets and the rest of them. But Obla happened to be in the presidency and was one of those mandated to be managing assets for government. What happened? Obla was found wanted. But nothing has happened to Obla. He's still walking the streets free. So now what we are saying is that government is now trying to give us the impression that it is genuinely interested in transparency and accountability. We are taking it in good faith. Excuse me. Why won't you collaborate with institutions that are genuinely dedicated?
Cross purposes over time will no longer be there. So what we need to do is to encourage government, because just like somebody in this issue of policy somersault, that even when another government comes into being, they continue along this line. And the only way we can get there is once we have this enactment of the law, once the civil whistleblower policy becomes a law, so that we can try as much as possible to now harmonize all the progress that's been made as far as the policy is concerned, and then to see how we can even infuse it into the framework for the recovery of assets. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Frank. What I get from your submission is that you are pushing for the policy to become a law, so that there are rules guiding the implementation of this policy. Thank you. I'll come to Dr. Olabode. Right, throughout this conference, we've identified several, drivers of the weak implementation of the whistleblower policy, ranging from maybe overemphasizing, incentivizing, whistleblowing, to weak or very low public awareness. Across all of these drivers, what do you think are practicable solutions to these identified problems?
Thank you. At the federal level, of course, we know that the emphasis is there. This conference that we're attending is just one of trying to sensitize and create awareness. But you now see that at the state level, at the local government level, little is done. But yesterday Dr. Olowo said Lagos State is going to start something as a way of sensitizing, something similar to the whistleblowing policy. So the best way to do this, so that everybody gets aware, is that the state should take the bull by the horn by following after the federal, and that this from the state to the local government and even to secondary schools, where we now have that culture that it's the issue of even money paying for reward will not be, but for now the reward can be there. But we need to sensitize, we need to create awareness at the state level, at the local government level, in our secondary schools, in our higher institutions, so that everybody has that culture. Once it becomes a culture, then the problem is absorbed, that everybody now knows that this policy is in place and that you can really, actually, if you see something doing, speak out so that this corruption will not kill the nation. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Dr. Franca, do you have any additional comments on how we can improve public awareness?
Yes, we had actually talked about there are institutions that are existing at the moment. Yesterday we talked about it. The National Orientation Agency, for instance. These are institutions established by government to reorientate the citizenry. And this we can run with. The fact that this policy is going to be a law, the onus is on them to ensure that we cascade this. And we can do this by ensuring that it gets to the grassroots through jingles, road shows, markets, churches, the mosque, okay? And I remember as a primary school child in this town, we used to do a something called civics, even though it has been returned to the secondary school curriculum at the moment. But the truth is that once we begin to do this, sensitize people, then our people we're trying to change their consciousness. Over time, people will realize that it does not pay, for instance, to be corrupt or to get involved in misconduct. And then with time, we'll get to the level of the UK that the Honorable Commissioner was talking about, that is de-incentivizing the incentives, which is what is driving most of our people today to blow an empty whistle. Once we begin to do this, you'll find that give Nigeria the next 10 years, I can assure you, I'm an incurable optimist, Nigeria will become once more the El Dorado it used to be. Thank you very much. Thanks,
Dr. Franca. I know you're a media enthusiast. Please give her a round of applause. Thank you.
My message are just of two strands. The first to the government, and the message I have for the government is that the society we had yesterday is not the same today. Political campaigns in the past were run successfully without social media. Indeed, we didn't even have social media. But today, we don't have to subscribe to any giant media anywhere to pass information around. So government must learn that it's inevitable for them to work with people who can help them use the media to pass information to whatever level of the grassroots. The same way, they can also use the institutionalized media. To the media and the rest of us in the society, I want to appeal to us that Nigeria belongs to us. We don't have two countries. And we must ensure that we do everything that's possible to entrench transparency. It doesn't matter whether the people in the government are committed or not. We must be ready and make sure that we register it on those who are in positions of authority today, that it will only be good for them to make themselves relevant to the progress of this country.
Please applaud very strongly
There are existing crime detecting organizations like ICPC, EFCC, DSS, the Nigerian police, and the rest. That in the course of this program, we say those existing crime detecting agencies should not be complained because of the whistle-blowing policy that we want to make an acknowledgeable program in Nigeria. I wish, and I'm of the opinion, that we should highlight that fact that we say in the course of this program that yes, we want to make whistleblowing policy a national one. That should not undermine the existing agencies.
ICPC, EFCC, DSS, NFIU, all police, Federal Ministry of Justice, as they send their representative, they work together. And that is being highlighted by Dr. Franka when she was as one of the panelists. When the case comes to the secretariat, they look at the nature. If it's the nature, the case is such that affecting security of the state, they either send it to either NIA or DSS. If it is a financial crime, such will be forwarded to EFCC and so on and so forth. When the bill that we are talking about was to be drafted, all the anti-corruption agencies in Nigeria were brought together again to draft that law, and the Federal Ministry of Justice, the Secretariat. The reason being that they have looked into the existing law to see that what they are drafting no will affect their existing law. So the whistleblowing office is not in any way competing with any of the existing office. It's not in any way rivaling any of the existing office. Rather, it is a referral office that will coordinate all the activities, because if there is a whistleblower with the EFCC, it needs to be reported to the national office, and EFCC cannot be a judge on their own case. Such will be referred to another place to investigate, and that is the best global practice. So we should not go out from this hall and believe that whistleblower policy is another existing law that is coming to rival any of the existing agencies. No, it is very important for us to correct that impression. Let's see if we can continue.
Which will signify the close of this zonal conference on the whistleblower policy in Nigeria for the Southwest Zone.
Thank you very much. Please, may we all be